Grab a seat as we embark on Cable Future Past. Nathan Summers is the son of X-Men member Cyclops Scott Summers and his first wife Madeline Pryor, who is the clone of Jean Grey created by Mr. Sinister. Born in the present day, Nathan was infected with a deadly techno-organic virus while still an infant. He was sent into a possible future timeline where he could be treated and live his life. In his future world, Nathan grew into the warrior Cable and became an enemy of the villain Apocalypse. He later returned to the present day era, initially arriving some years before his own birth. Cable was born with telepathic and telekinetic abilities. The extent to which he has been able to utilize these powers has varied dramatically throughout his appearances. Originally, both were limited by his need to restrain his techno-organic infection, and his powers were negligible compared to his more traditional fighting skills. Following the subsidence of the infection, they gradually increased to the point where they were similar in magnitude to those of Nate Gray, to whom he is genetically identical. At their height, he demonstrated the ability to simultaneously levitate the floating city of Providence and combat the Silver Surfer. Following that story, his powers were burnt out and he replaced both with technological substitutes. He later lost and regained his abilities again when he was the age during the House of M. While mending Deadpool's malign physiology, as he progressed to his proper age. Cable himself stated that both his telepathy and telekinesis have faded to nothing. Cable has fought Wolverine to a stalemate, defeated Captain America in hand-to-hand combat, and defeated Falcon, Red Hulk, and Iron Man using both brute force and wit, all while Cable was in severe pain and hours away from dying of his techno-organic infection. When Professor Xavier's son Legion travels back in time to kill Magneto in the Legion Quest storyline, Beast notes that Cable possesses latent time travel abilities. With the assistance of Shi'ar technology, Professor Xavier jumpstarts this ability while Jean Grey telekinetically holds Cable's body together, allowing Cable to send his consciousness into the past. His techno-organic body parts possesses enhanced strength and durability, and his techno-organic left eye gives him enhanced eyesight, allowing him to see farther than a normal human and in the infrared spectrum. He is also able to interface his techno-organic body parts with other types of machinery, an ability that allows him to hack into computers, open electronic locks, and travel through time. In the Messiah War storyline, during the fight with his clone Strife, Cable demonstrates the ability to hide others from Strife's mental view, implying that at least he retains some of his telepathic powers. He also still possesses some of his telekinesis, but he is using it solely to keep the techno-organic virus in his body at bay, as well as holding onto just enough telepathic power to simulate technopathy and facilitate technopathy through the use of future Stark Industries technology. As at the end of the Avengers X Sanction storyline, Hope Summers has apparently cured Cable of the techno-organic virus using the Phoenix Force and appears to at least have his telepathy. As a result, his cybernetic eye and arm have been restored to flesh and blood, although almost non-functional and atrophied, forcing Cable to wear an eye patch, hiding the cybernetic-like implant, and use an enhanced brace made by Forge and laden with special weaponry. Due to a future Hope's tampering with his mind, he also gained the ability to see multiple possible future events before they unfold. After being afflicted by a derivative of super soldier formula begotten from an alternate reality, Cable was left incapacitated as the faulty chemical weapons test would cause his physiology to self-destruct if left unchecked. To compensate for his genetic instability, he had Dr. Nemesis place his body in suspended animation until they could find a cure for his condition. In the meantime, Cable would operate his X-Force team through short-lived clones whom had a fraction of his precognition and a shortened lifespan due to being carbon copies with the faulty Volga effect serum cursing in their systems, making his clones useful for kamikaze attacks as they only last about a day's time before violently detonating on their own or when they whistle an audio failsafe to trigger it. In Deadpool and Cable, split second, Cable once again loses most of his powers, but retains his precognition. He regains them along with his cybernetics as a result of Deadpool repairing Cable's personal timeline. Cable not only regained his psionic abilities, he had even regained the underlying potential he had always possessed since infancy, having engaged in a psionic battle with a clone of the Red Skull who had stolen the brain of the deceased Charles Xavier. The clone revealed that Mr. Summers was in fact an Omega-level mutant. Nathan often makes use of his spear-like morph weapon called the Psymitter, which was originally a long staff with a spear point on one end and a skith blade on the other, using primarily by the Askani. It functions as a focus and amplifier for telepathic and telekinetic power, which it can combine the projects as powered psychic force blasts. Apart from his superhuman abilities, Cable has been said to have a brilliant mind for military tactics. Now, with that said, I am your comic connoisseur at the campfire, so just go full nerd mode by clicking on like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to be notified when new content has been uploaded. Then you will be crowned an official TNN comic connoisseur. I'm Ra for Elm City Comic Book Collectors, and I'm out. Peace.